Welcome back, children. Today we will do how to separate the various gases present in air. Now, as we have done in the last class about fractional distillation, gases are also separated in the same way. But before, first we have to liquefy the gas. So air is subjected to high pressure and to very low temperature. When this air, which is present in the gaseous state, gets converted into the liquid state, and when we get liquid air, then that liquid air is subjected to fractional distillation. Just like we have separated the various components of petroleum, in a similar fashion, we also separate the various components of air after we liquefy the air. This liquefaction process is done by lowering the temperature of the gas and by exerting huge amount of pressure. When gaseous air gets converted to liquid air, and once the liquid air is achieved, that liquid air is subjected to fractional distillation, and from that liquid air we get various components like liquid oxygen, we get liquid nitrogen, and so on. In this way we are able to separate the various components of air, and then these components are used for various purpose. Next, we will do separation by the process of crystallization. Now let me give you an example. Crystallization is used to obtain a substance in its pure form. Now think of candy. You know what is candy? Which in Hindi you call misri. How is it prepared? First of all, a saturated sugar solution is made. You understand what is saturated sugar solution? Then, by increasing the temperature, more and more sugar is added. Naturally, as temperature rises, its solubility increases. So in a certain quantity of water, first we prepare a saturated solution of sugar. Then by heating the sugar, more and more sugar is dissolved in that water, and then this solution is called as supersaturated sugar solution. After preparing supersaturated sugar solution, we stop heating. As we stop heating, naturally the temperature falls. As the temperature falls, we find that a small crystal of sugar is formed, which enlarges in size. In this way, more than one crystal may be formed, and each of these crystals will start growing in size. So whatever excess sugar was dissolved due to increase in temperature of that saturated sugar solution, that excess sugar will be retrieved from that supersaturated solution in the form of crystals of sugar. Right? Now these crystals are free from any type of impurity. They are totally pure crystals of sugar. So in this way, crystallization process is utilized for obtaining pure salt from seawater, for obtaining alum, right? For obtaining copper sulfate crystals, right? In this way, various substances can be obtained in its purest form by the process of crystallization. Lastly, we come to how we get pure drinking water from the municipal corporation. For this purpose, at first, water from nearby river or any other source, a lake, is pumped out and kept in a reservoir. Clear? Then from the reservoir, it is separated, it is transported through pipeline to a tank and kept there for pretty long time. Here, whatever solid impurities are there, solid, insoluble impurities in water are there, they get settled at the bottom. So this is primarily called as sedimentation tank. After the heavy solid impurities, which are bigger in size, they get settled, this water from the sedimentation tank is transferred to another tank which is called as loading tank. So from the reservoir, at first the water is transferred to sedimentation tank. Then from the sedimentation tank it is transferred to loading tank. In the loading tank, alum is added. Clear? Now when alum is added, the various finer particles which are suspended in water, these settle down at the bottom. That means now the water becomes free of solid, heavy, insoluble particles as well as light, insoluble particles which remain suspended in water. The water becomes free of these. After the water is kept in the loading tank for some time, the water is next transferred to another tank which is called as chlorinating tank. Here either chlorine gas or chlorine tablets or bleaching powder is mixed with that water. Here whatever germs are there, all these germs get killed. Clear? So first water from nearby river or a lake is pumped into a reservoir. From the reservoir, the water is transferred to a sedimentation tank. From the sedimentation tank, the water is transferred to a loading tank. From the loading tank, the water is transferred to a chlorination tank. And after chlorination tank, this water is pumped to water towers, right, in the locality. Then from the water tower, this water is distributed for domestic purpose and other purposes throughout the locality by a network of pipeline. Right, children? So here we come to the end almost. Little bit is left regarding concentration of substances, which I missed out actually. So that we will do in our next class, and then we will finish the chapter. Thank you. Please make it sure that each and every friend of yours goes through these videos very nicely without neglecting, because after the school reopens, it will not be possible for us to deal with each and every chapter thoroughly as we are doing it in our online classes. So please share this video as much as you can. Tell your friends to watch the videos nicely and then go through the books for clarification. Thank you.